Hello YouTube. This is going to be a video about some of my experiences in that with US Xpress. As you can see, I'm actually wearing one of their reflective jackets right now. But I am actually on Christmas vacation currently, and let's start with the beginning. I got pre-hired on, well, I should say pre-hired on with US Xpress before I even started CDL school. And I went to a local school by my house, and that they didn't send me out of state or anything like that, mainly because of Illinois' laws and regulations and all that other BS about getting your license. Well, so I went there, did that, and US Xpress sent me to another CDL school and not about 40 minutes away from my house for my orientation. The person that was doing the orientation was not even a US Xpress employee and was nothing more than a desk jockey for the school that they sent me to for orientation, which I thought was extremely unprofessional. They after orientation, and I went home. I took care of some personal issues and got some stuff taken care of. From there, I went to training. Well, I was on Dollar General dedicated, which was a huge freaking mistake. 3 weeks of nothing but pure hell. My trainer I had he taught me a lot of good stuff and that, but extremely unprofessional and extremely on the nice, wonderful side of, are we going to die today? He ran on my logbook, which anyone knows is a big freaking no-no, especially when you're speeding and that. So that, but US Xpress and that, they pulled me off the truck with him in the middle of Michigan and 17 degrees outside and put me up in this freaking ramshackle of a hotel because it was the only one in the town. They, loaded the money onto my fuel card so I could pay for the hotel and pay for the cab ride in the morning. It took me like 60 phone calls and about 7-8 hours on the dang phone because it was the weekend and, pretty much everyone had got home for the day, and I'm getting a hold of this lady that worked the Dollar Tree distribution center as a fleet manager, and she pretty much moved heaven and earth to make sure that I had the monies loaded onto my fuel card so I can pay for the $159 cab ride to the Greyhound station to come home and wait until they find me a new trainer. I was home maybe about 3-4 days. Got told, hey, we got you a trainer and that. Here's his number. Called him. Turned out he was only 50 miles away from my house. And it was, one heck of a coincidence that he was actually coming through my area. So I ended up meeting him at the Greyhound station and, had my wife and her mom drop me off there at the Greyhound because, at the truck stop. Because, hell, my radiator on my Jeep blew up and, driving truck, you really don't have the chance to fix that wonderful stuff. So, I waited there for him to pick me up. Got on the truck with him, finished my last week with him. They require you to have like 175 hours before they let you upgrade. The upgrade. Now, this is what really screwed me. State of Illinois, to get your CDL, all you have to do is straight line back, offset, straight line back, and parallel park. No alley docking, no 45s, no 90s. I don't care what the hell you call it. Yeah, you ain't doing it. Especially at some of these dang schools, because they're just there to get you your license and you get the hell out of there. That's what they see, on to the next batch. So, I upgraded in that, did a good job with all that stuff. And, because, I had trainers that taught me how to bat. Did all that nice, wonderful stuff, and not even 12 hours or so after the upgrade, and that, they're handing me the keys to a truck, giving me a load. I went and picked up the load, went, almost to home, dropped it off, headed home with that load, and dropped it off and bobtailed over by my house, because I can't park my truck in a residential, area where I live, because it's against the city ordinance, which, if you ask me, sucks. I didn't even know it was against city ordinance and that until I did some deeper investigating in that, because I had a feeling there was some kind of catch that I couldn't park my truck in front of my house, and turns out, yeah, there's a city ordinance, even though there's no truck signs. No trucking GPS will sit there and tell you, oh, it's a no truck route. It just doesn't tell you. So if you're going to think about bobtailing home, you might want to double check on that one. Because trust me, the fines are huge. I asked them. But they ended up giving me a teammate, and it turns out it was actually someone that was in the class before me at school, and I knew him in that, and he actually helped me with my pre-trip and stuff like that, and it was great. But US Xpress I have found, is very good about doing, the right hand doing one thing and the left hand doing another. They're really, really good at that shit. And it's quite sad. They ended up pulling him off the truck and assigning him to his original teammate that he was supposed to, team up with, that, he went to school with and was in his class. That's okay. That's fine. They give me this new teammate, right? Because they pulled him off the truck right before I went home. I went home and I'm team over the road. I said, hey, I'm going to need a new teammate now, obviously. And they said, well, you got some home time. Go home and, do what you got to do, and we'll find you a new teammate. And I'm like, okay, cool. I go to hop in the truck and I'm calling them out, and I said, well, they called me up before I hopped in the truck and said, well, we got you a new teammate. We need you to meet him here. And I said, cool, I'll go meet him. And then I call him up, and then he's way the hell on the other side of the state, the country. And they're like, well, we found you this load going from here to here, and then you'll just basically bobtail up to the terminal and wait for him to get there, and he shouldn't be that far behind you. I waited 30 hours for him to get there. And for him to get on the truck. That's sad. They can't plan nothing. And they guaranteed me $900 a week, team surge. I have yet to get that pay. I've actually made more money when I was in training, the $70 a day, than driving team over the road for a solid week. That's really freaking sad. US Xpress, I will say this, they are a great company when they have all their ducks in a row and that. And we've had, I've had instances where they've had, told me to go pick up this trailer, and the trailer wouldn't pass DOT, and they didn't force me to drive, take the trailer. They figured something else out. I was stuck in California right for the wildfires, 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts. They didn't sit there and say, well, you have to drive the truck. I had one fleet manager sit there and try to hint at that. And I said, I'm not moving, regardless of what you guys say. And if I have to, I'll call safety. And that was the end of it. They don't want you to, damage their truck or their trailers or, die, because then, it's a huge ass lawsuit. And the current teammate I got now, he actually, not even 5 miles from my house, we were dropping off a load. And I was supposed to go home right after that. I'm getting my shit together in the sleeper and that to get ready to get off the truck. He decides that he's going to hit this nice, wonderful concrete wall barricade type thing that's just, up against the curb in the parking lot, and rips the right front quarter of the bumper off the truck. I mean, it's a 2017 Freightliner Cascadia, so the damn thing's plastic. It's one of those pop-on, pop-off deals. No big whoop. And right now the truck's at a terminal being fixed up by his house because I don't live by a terminal. And he's supposed to be bringing my truck back down here after our home time. And I'm going to finish out my last week or two with US Xpress. And I'm going to be switching over to another company with better home time, better benefits, less BS, hopefully, and a lot better pay. But yeah, that's pretty much my experience with US Xpress at the moment. Stay tuned for more wonderful stuff.